I've been asked to share a bit of a story that you saw a piece of that involved my sister in one of the first cases that I ever handled on behalf of a person who was denied an insurance benefit and had a struggle that was life-threatening. Just to tell you a little bit about Nalene, you heard some things about her, but she was the closest friend you could ever have. Maybe you were blessed with a sister like her. She was a person that all your friends would go to for advice. She was very active in her church, but she was by no means a church type of lady as depicted on Saturday Night Live. If she could get qualified at University of Southern California, a wonderful cancer center, to do this treatment, which they had experience at, we might be out of the woods. And so our hopes were buoyed. She was thrilled. And none of these centers want to choose people that are going to fail. She went through all kinds of tests. She was a good candidate. She proceeded, but the treatment was $250,000. So her doctors sent in the referrals and the slips, and they said there should be no problem. This is a covered benefit. I'd already looked at the coverage. And then, as you saw, we received a letter that said, we're not covering this. We believe it is experimental. And experimental was defined as things done on laboratory rats and animals and not practiced in the medical community. And we could show them that 20,000 patients had already had this. She had already been approved. And the time was of the essence because, as you know, in treating any form of cancer, you want to do it earlier than later. And I know a lot of people who aren't in the legal profession think people just, file all the lawsuits all the time, and we're just looking forward to that. Obviously, in this case and others, we're trying to resolve it. So I filed the lawsuit, and again, no word, nothing. And so I had to follow through on my promise, and so I took the deposition in pursuit of the truth as to why something that was promised to her when she was well, when she was marketed into this plan, would be denied to her now that she's ill and when she needs this. So I took the deposition of the man who made the decision. And I asked, and I couldn't figure out why he would leave a very lucrative private practice in Beverly Hills and go be inside some corporation, until we uncovered that he had a bonus. He would make $30,000 on every one of these expensive treatments that he denied. And I was somewhat shocked. And at the time, I didn't know how an HMO worked versus anything, and I was learning on the run. We were hoping that we'd be able to get enough funds to pay back all of the people. At the same time, we felt that this conduct was intentional. We thought it was contemplated to harm individuals and save money. And we almost got admissions to that. So at the very end, I had lost about 20 pounds. We just wanted this over. And we went to the trial. And I just said, we'd like you to send a message. And one thing that I do that everybody's told me is wrong is I never ask for a dime. I just tell them what happened. We go through the scenario, and in this case I said, you know what, we all vote. Sometimes we wonder if our vote counts. Sometimes we wonder if it matters, but today in this small courtroom in Riverside County, courtroom number 9, you today can send a message that changes the way every insurance company works in America. And I said, if the message is strong enough, if you hit them hard enough, no family is going to have to go through this again, or they'll write an honest contract and tell you up front what they don't want to pay for. And the jury went out, and much to our amazement, they awarded $77 million in punitive damages and $13 in compensatory, and the total was, I think, 89.9. Again, that one number kept ringing through the case.